Yo, Hegassen here with an anime review. Very behind on my anime reviews, but I'm catching up. There's no manga episode this week. I think about 10 episodes behind, so I'm going to try and blitz as many as I can this weekend. And this episode, it tells us what happened to Kinemon and the rest, Okiku, Momonosuke, Raizo and Kanjuro. What happened to them when they arrived 20 years into the future, and now what the plan is and what all of the rest of the Straw Hats have been doing while everybody else was in Whole Cake Island. I was a little bit worried going into this episode because in the opening, you know, it shows like a few scenes of what's coming up. It was showing like flashback stuff and Punk Hazard and stuff, and I was like, oh no, this whole episode, it's going to be like half of it's just going to be repeat. Thankfully, they didn't show that much. A lot of the stuff that they did show, like Dressrosa, was just like still images. And then they only showed a few scenes from Punk Hazard. They showed one of where Laura chopped off Kinemon. Really good stuff, by the way. I really enjoyed that reveal of Kinemon where you kept finding all of the little bits of him, and then eventually they pieced together who Kinemon is, and it was this samurai, and it was all this big mystery. I really enjoyed that in Punk Hazard. Well, the other scene they picked, completely random, or it seemed like completely random. It does have a reason because it comes up a little bit later on in this episode. It's like a reference to something, but it's when Kinemon first sees Nami, and Nami's in a bikini and he's just perving out and his nose is bleeding and stuff. I was like, that's a completely random scene. Any excuse, the anime, to show Nami in a bikini, but you know, I'm not going to complain to see it again, but it does have a little bit of a reason as to why they showed it, which I'll talk about a little bit later on. This little flashback bit was alright. I mean, there's actually one bit I think that is quite important in here, and that is when you see them on their way to Zou and just leaving Wano, and you see that the Beast Pirates are following them, and that potentially explains how Jack knew about Zou and knew how to track Kinemon and that where Raizo and stuff was. So that could potentially be very important. It could potentially link to something that comes up later on in the manga, but no spoilers here. So yeah, just remember this episode 911, and remember the fact that the Beast Pirates, the Animal Kingdom Pirates, did actually follow Kinemon and stuff out of Wano while they were going to search for allies. Speaking of allies, part of the plan that Kinemon has got is to get allies in Wano. We find out that there are people still loyal to the Kazuki clan, but a lot of them are older now. But there are people out there, and conveniently they all have these moons, these like crescent moon tattoos on their ankles, and conveniently everybody in Wano walks around with their ankles out. Try not to think about it too much, but that is what they're looking for. We see Usopp doing that and handing out this little bit of paper that's got like drawings on it, and to people of Wano it explains the plan and the time, which I'll get to in a little bit, and what Kinemon's plan is. But yeah, what happens if somebody who is loyal to Kaido and Orochi conveniently just happens to have that tattoo, or somebody changed their mind and they were loyal to the Kazuki, then they changed but they hadn't got rid of their tattoo? Bit of a stretch, but okay, fine, you know, it will do. Just try not to think about the logistics of it too much. And we find out what the rest of the Straw Hats that have been in Wano have been doing. Usopp, like I said, been handing out these leaflets. Robin is a geisha to try and get close to Orochi, and Franky is with the carpenters and stuff because he wants to get plans for Onigashima, Kaido's base, and they want them plans because the plan is not to like do a great big war against Kaido and Orochi, although Kinemon still wants like 5,000 men. His plan is more infiltration and to get Kaido and Orochi when their guard is down, and the guard is down during this thing called the Fire Festival, where Orochi goes to Onigashima, Kaido's base, and they basically have a great big piss up. They're just drinking, they're just eating, and that is when Kinemon wants to strike. When they got the guard down, when they're all drunk. I don't think that really matters in Kaido's case though, because as we see in upcoming episodes, Kaido's still pretty strong when he's drunk, and he's pretty much always drunk, so it doesn't really matter in Kaido's case, but the rest of the forces, that's a really good opportunity, and Orochi. So that's Kinemon's plan, and then he starts to give the rest of the Straw Hats their plans and their costumes. He uses his devil fruit, his Garb Garb fruit. I think this is the first time we've actually heard him call it the Garb Garb fruit. He doesn't say fruit, but he says Garb Garb, you know, Nami, so we know it's the Garb Garb fruit. And he gives everyone their costumes. Chopper is a really, really cute little ninja. Sanji becomes a chef and wears kind of traditional Wano style clothing. He looks really cool. Brook becomes like this creepy ghost skeleton. What he says looks like underwear on his head, and he's got arrows sticking out of him. His plan is kind of to go and get food and stuff using his powers. Carrot becomes a really cute looking citizen of Wano as well. And then Nami, the highlight of the episode, really funny. Kinemon's like, I'll make you a kunoichi, I'll give you traditional kunoichi clothing. And he makes her the most sluttiest Kunoichi ever. This is probably why they showed that bikini scene from Punk Hazard, just to remind everyone that Kinemon is a massive pervert, even though we find out he has a wife, and his wife is Osuru in this episode, and he's not going to see Osuru till the end of the war, so hopefully it all works out for Kinemon, but and Osuru as well. But yeah, really funny stuff. And then we get to see what a real Kunoichi looks like, and we get a new character called Shinobu, and she is completely different to Nami. You know, she's all covered up, whereas Nami, her boobs are basically falling out, and she's got the shortest skirt, completely impractical. And Kinemon's trying to be like, no, there's two types, and he's saying it, he's got blood gushing down his face. Funny scene, classic anime, classic Oda drawing Nami. But yeah, funny scene. Overall, this episode, it was alright, a lot of good information and stuff, but not exactly the most exciting episode. There was a lot of repeat shots. You know, we see the same shot of Chopper and Sanji, like reaction shot. We see a few shots of Okiku when they're in the flashback the same, and Kinemon doing like the same poses about like 3-4 times. Good episode though for Kinemon reaction shots, so not going to complain about that. But overall, I think the episode, it's good information, some funny moments, but not exactly one that you'll be going back to a lot, except to kind of go back and go over this lore stuff, and potentially, you know, what I was talking about where the Beast Pirates were following Kinemon and stuff out of Wano. So overall, I'll probably give this one a blue tier. I also think that the anime made it very obvious that they're hiding something about Okiku, because in the flashback they were just covering her face. Why is that? I mean, we all know, but a little bit obvious there, anime. Anyway, that was my review of this episode. I've got a lot more to do, so let's crack on with the next one. Hey, so thanks for watching. What did you think? Let me know about it in the comments below. And if you enjoyed my video, maybe give it a like, and if you really liked it, why not subscribe? You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram and Twitch. Oh, and here's a related video you might enjoy, and something more fresh. I've been Hegassen, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!